Hello, marketing legends, and welcome to Marketing News Now with your host, James Harrold Meeker, podcasting from the Silicon Valley Hills of Austin, Texas. Today, I have a special guest with us, CK Kumar, the Edge AI whisperer, technical storyteller known as the Shameless Optimist. Most of my colleagues know CK as an AI expert and thought leader on all things marketing, and today he's joining us to discuss agentic agents. Many of us started out with AI using a prompt and prompting our way to AI nirvana. Quickly, we learned that we needed to use MD files in order to improve the performance, and now we have agentic agents. This is the latest in technology, and if you're not using it today, well, time to learn about it. CK's here to tell us a little bit about who's doing what and what to think about agentic agents in a marketing team. CK, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, James, good to be here.
Hey, where do you see the role for agentic agents on a modern marketing team today?
This is a very interesting question, right? Think of when I think of agents, I use an example where think of yourself having a Swiss Army knife, and now you have a Swiss Army knife that's intelligent on its own, right? So imagine you show a bottle and you pull out the corkscrew. The Swiss Army knife is going to go check out the type of the wine bottle and then go and open the open up the store, right? So it's one of those things, right? And agents are important, but it's what is fascinating for me is the broad agentic architecture that's slowly evolving in place for multiple functions. There is a whole agentic piece that's already in play for sort of the engineering processes, right? And then we are developing something very similar on the marketing side as well, right? And the way to think about this is uh, for every function you have sort of an end-to-end set of activities,
Mhm.
and you can break up these activities into discrete tasks, right?
Mhm.
And typically you have folks who are subject matter experts who are really good at pieces of those tasks, and then they hand it off to another set of folks who are really good at the next set of tasks. If you were to design a set of intelligent entities that are trained to complete those tasks, and they are given all the different information and you let them loose, that is where I think we are going to see a lot more interesting activities come out, right? A specific example could be if you were to go create a particular blog, for instance, in the marketing, you were to go give this agent not just the capability to go write up a blog, but you would then inform the agent that, hey, I'm interested in writing a blog about manufacturing, specifically focusing on process manufacturing. I want to think about any new specific papers that have come out in terms of automation. Include those things. And when you got it, create a blog with a couple of really compelling headlines, make sure it's brand compliant, and then bring it to me for review, right? So it may seem we have given this particular agent a lot of different tasks to look at and then come back and do it. So that's probably a good example of how do you think about some of these agents and leveraging the agentic AI.
So, my understanding is a lot of agents are being deployed in transactional type marketing where there's a lot of qualifying the front end of a filter, customizing a content for targeted audience. How deep is this going to go versus a relationship customer where it's harder to imagine an agent really being able to meet the needs of a critical account for a company? Where's the cut line on an agent's responsibility with those kinds of marketing walls up?
That's a great question. I think I'm going to wimp out with an answer saying it depends. But here's the nuance, right? The nuance is on three things. One, what kind of customer do you have? What kind of product or service that you're selling? And what was the existing relationship that you're trying to supplement, right? Now, for example, if you had a customer who used to buy, I'm going to take a consumer example, right? Who used to buy a pair of shoes from you, right? and you're a shoe manufacturer. In the past, and it's a customized shoe, so you would reach out to the customer, maybe give that person a call when a new model has arrived into the store. You have somebody who can recognize him or her and have a personalized approach to, fitting up that I'm going to just keep watching a set of, I'm going to send this customer a bunch of emails, and you could do a lot of other ways to touch your consumer. But that consumer you may run the risk of losing that customer because he or she was not used to that previous process, where now it feels very impersonal and not very authentic. And so if you take that crude example and probably expand it to multiple words, engage with that customer. And where do you, depending on your experience and expertise in that particular market, how much of it can be automated in terms of informational stuff? And we really need to bring that customer onto the next stage of the customer journey. Where do you insert a human being to take over and then have that other set of conversations?
So you've a number of times have described AI as this marketing tool, and you always frame things around tools. So I imagine that for a relationship sales team, AI represents probably a number of tools to give them back office support and bridge a lot of the deliverables and makes promises a lot easier to sustain with customers in the sales process. I think the role of a sales rep or a marketing team on that contact with the customer, I think is to your earlier framing of the tool concept. I think this fits in rather nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely correct, right? The AI is basically a tool. Think of an AI to help accelerate and enhance all the work that you did. It is a task replacement tool. It is not a function replacement tool. And there is a big difference there, right? And so in these cases, if you are on a relationship sale and you really need to engage your customer better, you can use AI to look at what the customer interests are. Maybe that'll help you customize or enhance how you engage with the customer, right? You can then also look at, hey, as you are looking at engaging the customer, maybe you can do some deeper research using AI. Therefore, the way you position, the way you approach the customer looks much more appealing. You can do a more comprehensive competitive analysis so that when you present a proposal to the customer, you have basically covered all the potential objections and potential tripping points that the customer is aware of, right? Or they get to know about it. And even it's a relationship sale, you're not there to just close the sale. You are there to help solve a particular customer problem, get there better and make it a much more engaging and a sustainable sale. But most importantly, the customer gives you their permission to sell more at that particular value that you're offering. So think about it in the right way rather than use it as a blunt tool and just go crazy and just getting everything automated.
Well, you heard it here, folks. So AI is framed as a tool, not as a murder robot.
That is correct.
CK, thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we appreciate your insights as always. How can people get a hold of you online?
Hey, as I always say, there's only one Kumar on LinkedIn. Look me up on LinkedIn. It's CK Kumar. DM me if you wanted to chat, or I'll take it from there.
Fantastic. And folks, remember to like and subscribe to these podcasts, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Know the wheel, respect the logic. Roulette looks like a simple game. Red or black, odd or even. Pick a number, place your chips, and watch the wheel spin. Behind every spin is something most players never stop and think about: the math. That's why I wrote Roulette Logic, my newest book. It's a clear, no-hype look at roulette, the probabilities, the casino's edge, smarter decision-making, well before you put your money on the table. This is not a book about promising magic systems and guaranteed winnings, but it's more about a framework to keep you in the game longer and having more fun. You'll learn how roulette actually works, its history, and the stories behind some of the largest wins at the table. Clear explanations of odds and why the house edge matters. Hey, What's new is that all of the math has been verified and complemented with artificial intelligence. I also cover bankroll, session management, and the disciplines that you need to shape every decision at the table. So, whether you're casino curious, a regular roulette player, or just fascinated by risk and probability, roulette gives you the edge at the wheel. The logical thing to do before you even start thinking about your next trip to the casino is to get my new book, Roulette Logic, available exclusively at Amazon. For more information about the book, you can go to the Harrold.house website. That's HARROLD.house. It's published by Harrold House Media. It's also important to know that this book is designed for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please play responsibly and play within your means. Have a good one.